The next day, Yewoon waits while thinking it's 10 past 6 and that there's still some time left. This is because he left earlier than necessary. Since he's going to a familiar place, he could have taken a bit longer. He wonders if she's okay or if she has a headache. He starts fixing his hair, but then realizes that, for some reason, he's nervous. Even though he's seen Haein many times, and they've even gone out drinking together, he thought this time wouldn't be any different. However, now that it's an actual date, it feels completely different. He wonders if his hair looks all right, if there's anything out of place. At that moment, his date arrives and asks what he's doing. The question catches him off guard, and he responds by asking if she also left early. The girl explains that her uncle told her he'd take care of the studio until 9, so she had free time, and that's why she left earlier than planned. Then she steps a bit closer, looks at him carefully, and tells him not to worry. His hair looks fine. Yewoon laughs, a little nervous, and asks if she's serious. Then he suggests they go right away because he's hungry. Curious, Haein asks where they're going today, whether it's a restaurant only he knows or a more casual dinner. The young man smiles confidently and asks if she likes spicy food. So, they head to a restaurant that specializes in spicy food. Yewoon mentions that the place is famous for its delicious jambong. He adds that it's not only tasty but also fun because you can try different levels of spiciness. That catches Haein's attention and she asks if he likes spicy food. He replies only a little and suggests that if she doesn't like it, she can order the basic level while he's going to order level 3 or 4. That surprises Haein, who comments that he really does like spicy food. Then she calls the waiter and asks if the restaurant offers a level 6 spiciness. The waiter says yes, which surprises Yewoon. When he checks the menu again, he realizes it only goes up to level 4. Haein explains that there are secret levels, going up to level 8, intended for true spice lovers. She also tells him that the last time she was at a place like this, she tried level 7 and thought she was going to die from the heat. She adds that because it's so intense, it wouldn't be good for him to eat something that spicy, so she'll join him by ordering level 6. Yewoon, visibly embarrassed, replies that if that's the case, he'll also order level 6. Haein asks if he's serious and tells him he doesn't have to try so hard. But he insists that since they came together, he prefers to eat the same thing as her. It makes him feel like they're really sharing the meal. Upon hearing that, she looks at him with admiration, and a cute but small smile appears on her lips. Then she declares they'll order 2 bowls of level 6 jambong with a bit of spicy honey. When the dishes arrive, the waiter wishes them enjoyment, revealing that both bowls have an intense crimson color. Seeing them, Yewoon wonders if he'll really be able to enjoy it since it looks extremely spicy. Haein asks if he'll be okay, and he says yes. Then he questions how spicy it can really be. He believes that once you reach a certain level, all spiciness should feel the same as before. But upon tasting it, he experiences true terror. He starts coughing and his face turns red. Haein can't help but worry and asks if he's okay. She explains that you have to start by drinking the broth to get used to it. She asks if he wants her to order him a less spicy broth since she doesn't think he can handle this level. But Yewoon refuses and says he can keep eating. They both enjoy this super spicy meal. After eating, Yewoon looks visibly exhausted. Haein asks if he's okay. He replies yes, that he just has a split lip, a cramp in his spine, and his hands and feet are numb from the acidity. That makes the girl say that clearly, in the end, he's not okay. She reminds him that's why she told him not to try so hard. He didn't even finish the dish. Yewoon, looking at her, asks if she's okay. Haein replies yes and reveals that she's a fan of spicy food. Yewoon admits he lost, and Haein tells him not to compete over that. He reflects that he chose that restaurant to have a fun and relaxed conversation, but they couldn't talk about anything. He just kept repeating that the food was spicy. He confesses to himself that it's been a total disaster. Haein, after looking at him for a few seconds, asks if he has to go home now. He replies that he doesn't have anything to do today. Then the girl asks if he wants to go somewhere to rest or do something else. Curious, he asks where they'll go to relax, and Haein says she knows a good place where they can relax comfortably. She gets up and asks him to follow her. She's going to show him. He nods, but while following her, he wonders what place she's referring to and where exactly they'll comfortably relax. They pass by some places that could be good for resting. But none of them catch his attention, because all he can do is look at Hain, blushing a little. They finally arrive, just as someone is singing while playing the guitar. When they finish, the person thanks the audience and announces that their group is called The Beggars and the Fishermen. Yeowon is surprised, but quickly asks if when she said rest a little, she meant going to a live music bar. Hain confirms it and tells him that on weekdays there's open mic, so you only have to pay for drinks and can enjoy the show for free. The young man looks puzzled, and Hain tells him to sit down, that she'll bring him a beer. Already seated, he reflects that he was foolish to imagine silly things. He felt a bit disappointed, but thinking it over, it makes no sense to have had unfounded expectations. Then, he reconsiders and admits to himself that he didn't know a place like that existed near the university. He's passed by that spot almost every day and never noticed it. Hain returns with the beers and Yeowon thanks her. She asks if he's okay. He says yes, though he's worried about how he'll feel in the morning. To that, she replies not to die. Then, another person goes on stage and introduces themselves as Bittersweet Butterfly. They announce that this is their second ever performance, so they might forget the lyrics or have a slightly off rhythm. Even so, they ask the audience to enjoy their music. The first song is called Like Before. The couple starts watching the show attentively, and Yeowon thinks about the place. The cheap orange lights, the sticky tables, the rough sound of the speakers, and the audience listening in silence. It's an indie concert, and everything feels new and unfamiliar to him. He knows that Hain has lived in a world he doesn't know. Then he looks at her, gets closer, and tells her that he thinks the place is very beautiful. Then he takes a sip of his beer. Hain watches him, does the same, and calls out to him. Then she tells him that she also likes it a lot. They look at each other, and then simply keep drinking their beers while watching the show. The singer thanks the audience and announces that they'll now perform the next song. The next piece is called It Doesn't Freeze. For some reason, we're taken into one of Yeowon's memories. At that moment, he asks if she only played with him. Ryun replies that he only loved her on his own terms, that they spent a lot of time together, that they have the same tastes, but that doesn't mean she has to love him back. She states that love is not the same as empathy, and that just because he's passionate doesn't mean she is too. We return to the present. Yeowon reflects that even if they share interests and have spent many moments together, that doesn't mean the other person has to feel the same. That empathy and love are different things, but just for today, he thought he'd like that kind of love to exist. Many thanks to the channel members, Raphaeltron and Sweet Tea, for their valuable support to this project. That said, see you in the next video.